Hello, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Babatunde Adebola. I thought I might do a video for this so that you can put a face to the name. Many of you have had me write, many of you have had me talk, but I thought today I needed to put a face just so that it provides some clarity and full disclosure. I don't know, but I imagine that by now many of you would be aware that on the 17th of October 2022, I put a press release on LinkedIn where I indicated that I had formally disengaged from Accenture in all ramifications. And although my physical time of being employed in Accenture was from 2005 to 2017 in the Accenture's operations in Nigeria, I did continue to work with Accenture in some shape or form, either through promoting alumni interests or seeking to bring back Accenture, especially when I learned that Accenture pulled out in 2019. And this was for good reasons. Accenture was the seventh company that I worked in. My prior career before joining Accenture was that I had worked as an IT professional, but there was a gap in my life, which bordered on the fact that I was not able to manage a company very well. So coming to Accenture was an intention to improve on that. And honestly, I'm very grateful that I got that. So my love for Accenture was because Accenture filled a major gap in my life. And I not only did I enjoy that career, I also wanted or hopefully wanted to preserve it for the younger generation. But Accenture made it clear to me that they were not necessarily recruiting me to be their spokesman. And so, on that basis, and in the interest of fairness, I've stepped down everything Accenture. So, for me, if you ask Tunde Adebola as of today, 24th of October, what's Accenture? Accenture is just another consulting practice, no different or better than the likes of KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst and Young, and the whole nine yard. So I wanted to set that context. However, this message is directed to former employees of Accenture's operations in Nigeria. And I have what I believe is a fantastic idea of how we can continue our collaboration, regardless of the recent decision that I've made. And I'm proposing, and we're actually at a fairly advanced stage now in planning of a reunion event that will hold on the 2nd of September 2023. And the objective of this will be to promote what is good about Nigeria, but leveraging the pool of talent that exists in the former employees of Accenture. The program is called Renaissance Naija 2023, and it promises to be exciting. I've begun to work with people, small, big, towards that. And we've made some very major strides, giant strides. The first of which is that we have identified what we term as our objectives. And the objectives are five, all under the acronym NAIJA, Naija. So the first is networking, revival of old relationships or acquaintances, and development of new ones. And then the other one is, secondly, is that we want to create awareness. A lot of people don't know where their former colleagues are. So we want to ensure that we provide, visibility of where the opportunities are, what opportunities can be unlocked within the community. The third is integration. We're hoping to forge better integration amongst people. So maybe there was somebody's name you heard about very frequently and you would like to connect with that person, maybe even make the person a mentor, whether male or female. We're hoping that that platform, integration, will provide that. The next is J, job matching. There are many credible candidates who are on the bench, who are looking for jobs, who are in transition. And there are also people who have job opportunities and looking for people to get them. And we believe there's no better pool than the Accenture, what used to be Accenture employee pool, where people who are tried and tested, have different capabilities, speak similar language. When you say something, they understand. For instance, a lot of things I do off for extracurricular. The first thing I look around is there an Accenture person in the room or in the community? if there is, they're the first go-to for me because they get it. We speak the same language, and there's an expectation I have in terms of result, and it almost always works without fail. In fact, it always works. So that's why I believe that that's important. And then alignment. The next one is, what are the common interests? How can we collaborate? And for me, that point is where I'm most passionate about, because I have seen an opportunity that will blow your minds away. I just need to just give me some time. Let me explain. So, but more precisely, regarding the Renaissance Niger program, we have scheduled it along the lines of the ADM, Accenture Delivery Methodology, where we have an initiate phase, which is passed. We have a planning phase. We're in the planning phase as of today. Then we close it and move on to the analyze phase. The intention is to run through all these phases concurrently across all the dimensions. And the dimensions are very simple. If you work logged enough in Accenture, you would have recognized that Accenture made use of what we call verticals, industry verticals. So in Nigeria, we operated in products, operated in financial services, operated in resources. And then at the horizontals, we had things like MC, management consulting. We had SI&T, which later became technology, and what have you. So that's a similar model in which we're adopting to make it consistent with our understanding of how things link up. So in this instance, however, the verticals will be the continents. There are 6 continents in the world. It's Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Asia, and Australia. And each of these activities will be headed by a continental lead. So the continental lead for Africa has been agreed upon, and that's Halilu Abdul Malik. The one for Europe is Annie Mekeman. And then the third is for North America will be Abimbola Adebaki. Some of you know her as Abimbola Abbas. She's the same person. The next is South America will be Yemi Adetunji, also known as Oga Yemi. The next one is Asia. That will be headed by Shegun Olujobi, also known as Oga Shegs. And last, and by no means the least, will be Australia, which will be headed by Usain Udo X. So those are the heads of the various continents. We had meetings, very fruitful meetings, about 3 weeks ago, and it was agreed upon that they would lead. But what also became very clear is that many of these people are quite busy, and so we'll be looking for deputies to assist them in their various roles across the different geographies. So that's something that we're working towards. But the deputy must be somebody who resides in the continent. So if, for instance, you want to deputize Ogayemi in South America, you must live and operate in South America. So that's very important to say that. Okay, then the other thing to mention is that we are going to graduate from cities. The intention is that on 2nd of September, which will be our Go Live 2023, we will have the reunion activities happen in all of the places concurrently. And what would also happen is that we'll do it in different cities. Now, to show how we graduate, within a country, we'll have a maximum of 3 cities that will be registered for where the activities will happen. 3 cities. So let's take an example, Nigeria. We'll do it in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. And for each of these other cities in different countries, we must have a minimum of 10 former Accenture colleagues living around that environment to make it worth it. And but then if you're living outside of that city, you will need to travel down to be part of it. So for instance, let's say I was living in Ibadan, I will need to join those in Lagos. Let's say I was living in Kaduna, I'll need to join those in Abuja. You get the logic. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. So the cities will be, all of the activities of the city will be coordinated by a city coordinator. And all of the activities of the different city coordinators will be rolled up into the country lead. The country leads will now roll up to the continental lead. It's pretty simple, and I'm sure you get it. Okay, so then the other thing, so once we've concluded the country verticals, we then have the horizontals. The horizontals, we have what we call the communities of practice, and there are 5 of them. The first of which is onboarding, employee onboarding. So whereas I initially pushed for a drive for people to join the Accenture alumni, I have stepped that down, and what we're doing is I've provided a portal that we will be putting people on. They will be logging in. As long as you qualify, you're an ex-Accenture Nigeria employee and you're interested, we'll get you registered and you log in. So it will be like logging into the KX, if you will. So you log on and then you can carry out whatever activities that are required of you on that platform. The second one will be event planning. That's going to be a very massive undertaking because this will be developing the blueprint, the template rather, that will be rolled across each of the continents. They will do lots of things. What kind of dress code are we going to wear on that day, and so many other things. Then one other thing that they'll be doing, which will be very critical, is what I term as adverts and promotions. Believe it or not, this event is going to be very cheap because it's not going to cost much. Rather, we're going to levy whoever wants to be a corporate sponsor, and the sponsorship will be at different levels. You can sponsor at the country level, you can sponsor at the continental level for your continent, or you can sponsor at the global level. So each of these provides some level of visibility, some level of exposure, and will come with the associated cost. So this is how we're going to pay for it: adverts and sponsorship, and it's pretty easy. Then next we have technology. Technology team will be responsible for two things primarily. One is developing helping me to develop the website that will be that on which we run the portal. So other flavors that will come. I have my company is called Tender May Consulting Incorporation, and on Tender May, I'm providing the platform where we'll be running the main activities. But in addition to that, people who might want to support in developing it will be welcome to join. But the other thing that technology unit will be doing, very important, is that we'll be on the day of the event, there will be everybody will link up for between 15 and 30 minutes. And why that period? Because just think of it. This community or these cities are geographically distant. Not only that, there's also a time difference. And so what we want to do is that we recognize that we can't do all the activities concurrently. But within the 15 to 30-minute period, we will link up to have maybe an address. And we also have the corporate sponsors, also especially the global one, also showcase some of their whatever they're doing and have a wonderful time. I wouldn't be surprised if all of the activities even qualify to be on the Guinness Book of Records, because I'm not aware there has been any reunion ever since mankind was known, the way you have an event happening concurrently across the world. So it's something to be proud of, and it's Nigerian, by the way. So it's something to look forward to. And so the technology team will be determining, should we use Google Meet or should we use Zoom? What will be the best technology platform that can host all of the cities together? And just thinking of it is exciting. And then we also next community of practice is the media and communication. Media, we're going to be leveraging strong social media, Instagram, TikTok. We're just going to be blasting it. It's going to be hashtag RAN Naija 23. That's a campaign. Hashtag REN Naija 23. It's going to be fun. So the activities, the pictures from the different cities that people are working on will be shared and blasted, and it's going to be something worth looking at for. Then the other thing is that on the other hand, we also have a communication team. The communication team will have the responsibility of crafting specific messages, right? Specific messages that will be spread across the continental levels, the country levels, just to ensure that we don't go out of tune. Very, very important. One of the things we also do is that along the line, one thing I do personally, I have a series I called the Need to Know series, and so that in that instance, I'll be interviewing the different leads. Maybe your guy Shakes today, Yemi Adetiji tomorrow, some of the ladies, maybe even Awuneba, Titi Akisoya, so many wonderful people with lots of experience, and just getting to know their philosophies. So what we'll do is that once we've done that, we'll provide that information maybe on this platform that we'll be developing, but more importantly, where relevant, we will also link up with the traditional media through newspapers and stuff, where we can probably just say, oh, this person said this, and they can drill down. So there's a strong campaign that will be going on at the back of this. Make no mistake about it, this is going to be big. Then last but not least, because we have to manage an efficient delivery, that will be the PMO committee of practice, and that's just ensuring that we track to success. So we'll have the program management team. We also have the quality assurance team, just to be sure that everything is working. And we're going to bring the best of what used to be Accenture. Many of us have left Accenture. It appears many of us have positive memories. Some people have negative memories. But we're de-emphasizing all about Accenture. We're celebrating ourselves. We're celebrating you, celebrating me. I don't know how long you spend at Accenture. It does not matter. What's important is that we're celebrating our country. We're proving that there's something good about Nigeria. And one of the reasons why this is important for me personally is I've been away from Nigeria for 5 years, and then I visited Nigeria around July of 2022, and I couldn't believe the state of affairs. There's so much, what's the word? There was so much panic. You could feel it in the air right from the airport, and it was like, something on when a city is on the edge. That's how I felt, and I think we deserve a lot more. Over 100 million people, close to even 200 million people. There must be something we can do, we can promote about our country. So it will be my joy, and I believe will be your joy, that the former employees of Accenture would, in this period, be proving that this head is colorblind. Huh? Between this head is colorblind. We're going to prove that we can do something and make it worthwhile. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. But the beautiful thing, everything I've described to you is just phase one. Phase two, post that reunion, is something that Tundosko will be launching forth. You see, we're going to be harvesting all the information that you have, that I provide on my platform. I'm going to be providing a hub of activities. For those of you that were in Accenture, you may have heard of a project called NIPEX. NIPEX was where a marketplace. Now, I want you to picture now, I'm providing us with a hub that will be a marketplace for former colleagues to connect. So let's say, for instance, there is a person in Nigeria who's looking to operate in China. All you need to do is let us know, hey, I want to do this. What does it take? Okay, I want to set up a company in China. And we say, no problem. We'll take your requirements. We'll link up with our guys in China. We'll deliver it for you. We'll send it to you. You have a name. You have everything run for you at a token. And one thing we promise you is that you will never get a better deal than what we're going to have. And we're going to be leveraging the best of ethical, professional conduct in carrying this out. I don't know if I ever remember how Accenture, we went into the rigors. That's what we promise you. We'll connect people geographically. And our first course will be to reutilize the skills and the capabilities of a former Accenture Nigerian colleague in that neighborhood. So that way we're going to help each other. First of all, provide visibility, and then handshake and collaboration. And one other thing we're going to do, which I promise you, is that unless you choose otherwise, there will be no ex-Accenture person that we will not be able to employ. We'll find something for you. No matter how young and no matter how old, we're going to provide job opportunities for you. Even if you are old and all you want to be doing is just coding, or you want to do something, you want to just provide craft messages, we promise you that we're going to keep you busy. We believe that consulting is a beautiful experience, and I've met different people. Unknown to many of us, I'm in the people management, right? So I value people. I value resources. I value personnel. And I know that the best value of us is when you unlock the individual. There's potential in, physical plants, equipment. There's potential in money. But the greatest resource is a human potential. That one is unlimited in what they can produce. So that's pretty much what we'll be tapping into. So, but that, I'm talking into the future. I know exactly what we're going to do, but I don't want to, get us carried away. And so, as we progress further, I want to say something very clearly. When something as innovative as what I'm proposing comes, there are different levels of adoption. There are people who are called the innovators. They get it immediately. Like what I just described, some people already get it. But there are some who later on get it. They are the early adopters. They join the bandwagon. Then there are the early majority. When things are getting, it's becoming the fad. Then there's the late majority. And there are the laggards. I don't know what category you are in, but I want you to know that this train is moving, and it's moving fast. Usually, when big things happen, there are the category of those who conceive and make it happen. There's the second category of those who watch it happen. And there's a third category of those who never even knew anything happened. What happened? The choice of where you will be is purely yours. It's my hope, my wish, my desire that we work together. But should you decide this is not for you. Please feel free. I have big plans, and right before our eyes, it's going to happen. I wonder what Mark Zuckerberg's friends thought of him when he was making Facebook. Well, this is our own opportunity. I hope you seize it. I'll come your way sooner or later, but for now, bye.